From the latest blockbusters to hidden gems, news and reviews, this is your destination for everything movies. Grab your choc top and popcorn, sit back and relax. And don't forget to switch your phone to silent.
Here we go.
It's Talkin Flicks with JT and Grant Lee.
Yes, hello and welcome to the podcast. This is Talkin Flicks. I am JT and Grant Lee. He has turned up again this week. It's always great when he turns up. It's really good. Hello, Mr. Lee.
Hello, JT. How are you this week?
Oh, wonderful. It's nice you turn up because you missed our Talkin Flicks earlier this week. You were on a special assignment.
I'm sorry about that. Yes, I'm so sorry I missed that. You mustn't have sent me the memo that it was on.
Oh, no, I sent it.
Did you want to just do that by yourself?
No, I sent it.
Is that the reason?
I sent it. You obviously...
You sure?
Yeah, but you put all my emails in spam. So... That's what happened.
Yeah. I won't say why they go to spam, but anyway, people could probably gather.
Well, the same thing happens when I knock on your front door and the lights are off.
Yes.
But I swear they were wrong when I pulled up.
Yeah, and I go, quick, get down. Don't move.
God. I hope my nan's listening to this episode. I tell you now, she'll think very differently of you after this. But, Mr. Lee, great to have you back for this episode. How are you doing? How was your week? How was your day off on Wednesday?
Yeah, it was actually really good, thank you. I had a really relaxing day. It was nice. Didn't do too much. It was just, one of those days. Some days you just got to take a day off, and unfortunately... I had to do some stuff and it was on a Wednesday, so that's why I missed the podcast. And so I thank you for doing it because
You're very welcome.
That's really kind of you. You're very kind to do it.
Duncan was very happy to have me around, Mr. Lee. So he's actually, he said, can we piss Grant Lee off again next week?
Well, you know what? If that's the way you feel like, you never know what's going to happen.
Okay, there you go. So we know you won't be around next week as well. Thank you for that. Enjoy another day off, Mr. Lee. Well, I'm so excited about this week because some huge movies out. We've got the new Wicked to talk about, but also, Mr. Lee, Hugh Grant in a movie that we wouldn't usually see him in, a different type of genre, because he's a drama, romancy kind of guy. But what's happening here?
Yep. Yeah, well, he is actually going to be in a horror called Hirik, which is going to be opening next week. So, yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that later in the podcast. So, yeah, but it's pretty big for Hugh Grant to be doing horror.
It certainly is. I've seen the trailer and I think it looks really, really good. There's yeah, it's kind of a situation that you could actually see happening. So we'll get to that a bit later on, but let's start with the massive movie for this week. Everyone's just been waiting so long for it. It's finally here. Wicked, Mr. Lee. Are you excited?
I am so excited because it has actually taken quite a few years to get off on to actually the screen. As we all know, we had the world premiere here a few weeks ago and we had all the stars all here, which was so good. And I know Sydney went off with all the stars in town and they actually did a bit of sightseeing, which is really good. So let's have a listen to Wicked.
Fellow Aussians, the Wicked Witch of the West is dead. Let me tell you the whole story. Our paths did cross. At school. Unlimited. Oh, you're green. I am. Together we're unlimited. She had her secrets. Absolutely remarkable. There is no fight we cannot win. Just you and I, defying gravity.
Why is it you're always causing some sort of commotion?
I don't cause commotions, I am one.
Some of us are just different.
Listen to me. You can do anything.
I know.
Just follow the road. It's gonna lead you right to me.
Well,
The best way to bring folks together is to give them a real good enemy.
This wicked witch.
don't be afraid.
It's the wizard who should be afraid of me.
The wizard that there is or was is ever gonna bring.
You know what, Mr. Lee? That is the first trailer this year that has given me goosebumps. I've got to say, it
really?
sounds phenomenal.
It does, doesn't it? It's taken so many years to make this movie. And when you think that John M. Chu, who's the director, now he did Crazy Rich Asians. Remember that movie? That was brilliant. I love that movie. Well, he actually wanted sets to be built because he wanted the land of Oz to feel like a real place. So they've had to build a lot of sets. They've also used CGI as well, but to give the actors more depth and everything like that, because when you're doing it in CGI, you don't see much. And if they have a blue screen or green screen behind them, it's not the same, is it?
No, it isn't it? I mean, and CGI is becoming so popular nowadays, and I think they've paid true to this movie and they haven't gone overboard with it, which is where they've thought outside the square, how they can make it look more realistic. But just the music, the graphics, the sets, the makeup, the wardrobe, they've just ticked all the boxes here to make... you know what, Mr. Lee? We've had Inside Out 2 up there. We've had Deadpool and Wolverine. I think we've got a dark horse for potentially the biggest movie of the year. I think it could be here, Mr. Lee. I think it could.
Wow.
Yep.
That's a big call. That's a massive call.
Huge call.
As you said, Inside Out 2 and Deadpool and Wolverine were massive, over $1 billion movies. So, yeah, I hate to agree with you, but I think I am going to agree with you. I think this is going to be $1 billion movie. Easy.
I still don't think it'll beat the Joker 2, but that's okay. There's some things you can't help.
Hey, I've got some trivia for you. Now, as we know, The Wizard of Oz, the original, opened in 1939. This one is pre-Wizard of Oz. So this is when Dorothy is not really there yet, because this is the story of the Wicked Witch of the North, the South, or the West, whichever one, and also the Wicked Witch, of the West. I am correct. I'm just reading it now. And also the Good Witch of the North, which is Glinda.
Got to say, Mr. Lee, I would happily exchange 1939 Dorothy for 2024 Glinda, because Ariana Grande is just... she looks like a princess in this movie.
She does.
Even in other movies, she's the epitome of perfect. And that's really hard because I'm a Margot Robbie fan. But Ariana Grande could be a close second at the moment, because she's just perfect for the role of Glinda, because she can sing, she can act. That's hard to find sometimes.
Oh, it is exactly right. And when you think what she was like on the yellow carpet a few weeks ago, she looked like both of them look like good witches. And I'm sorry, but I know the Wicked Witch of the West is meant to be bad, but they both look stunning when they walk the carpet, and that's so good. It's great. And it's also good to see Michelle Yeoh in it. Jeff Goldblum, he actually walked the carpet. I like him. He's a funny
great,
actor.
yes.
isn't he? He's so clever in what he does. Ethan Slater, he's in it as well. There is so many. And there's a little cameo that you have to watch out for because the actual music person who made all the music, can't think of his name at the moment, he actually has a cameo in the movie and you've got to watch out for him. So if you can see him, well done to you, because I've actually been looking and I haven't seen him yet. So I've only seen bits and pieces of it as I walk into the movie.
Well, I can tell you, you were an old reader of Where's Wally books, obviously. That must be right up your alley. Yes. I bet you were better at those than trying to find the cameo.
Stephen Schwartz is his name. That's him.
Okay.
Stephen Schwartz.
We'll keep an eye out for him.
He's the one that, and he actually wrote 2 new songs for this movie. And the other thing I want to tell you, JT, because you're going to be really upset, I know, this is part 1. Part 2 doesn't get dropped until November 2025. So we have a whole 12 months to wait to find out what happens.
And as usual, you put me in a bad mood, and you had to do it at the start of the podcast as well.
Yes, I did.
Sort of way to go yet. But Ariana Grande, she wasn't the original pick to play Glinda, was she? There was another actress who was primed for the role. What happened here, and who was it?
Well, it was actually Amanda Seyfried, and she really wanted to play the role of Glinda. And she actually went to singing lessons. She did everything because she really wanted that role. But unfortunately, she didn't get it. As we all know, it went to Ariana. So,
ouch!
Yeah, it must hurt.
That.
Yeah, it must hurt.
Going to singing lessons, and you know what? Maybe she can use it for another movie.
You might be able to. Maybe Wicked 2.
Maybe.
Part 2.
Maybe. But look, while we all boast about Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo is another one that we should, who is Elphaba, who we should talk about. Yep. She is phenomenal in this as well. I think she makes the movie really. And I was watching an interview with her and Ariana a bit earlier, and you could just see how much the movie means to her, and the meaning behind the movie, and just the inspiration and what it means to kids that are watching it as well. And she started to tear up and got really emotional. So I think when you see her play a part in the movie, she's really feeling it. So, and that's what you want. That's what they paid the big bucks to feel it. Yeah. So both of these girls together are going to be really, really good. And I think it's time to get out the Wizard of Oz too, Mr. Lee, because now's no better time for it, is there?
Absolutely. We could actually, watch this, then go from the other, what was the other one called? Oz?
Oh, Oz.
I think it was just called Oz, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Oz.
Yeah.
Yep.
We could watch that and then watch, because did Oz come out after, as in movie talk? Was it meant to come out after Wizard of Oz, or was Wizard of Oz the first one?
I'm not sure.
I can't remember whether Oz was a follow-up to Wizard of Oz. I think it was.
Yeah, I just remember the Wizard of Oz. That was. And you know what? That's not even my vintage, and I still love that movie. So I think it was phenomenal. Who was your favourite? Who did you love in Wizard of Oz?
In the original.
Who was your favourite character?
I actually have to say it was Dorothy, because I thought she played the part so well. But my real favourite was the Scarecrow.
Yeah. He had the most personality, didn't
Scarecrow.
he? Yeah.
Yeah, he did. And he just seems to be just so much fun. And I'm not going to give anything away, but there may be something that, in the Wicked Part 1 that may reflect some past or future, because in this it's future. So they may pop up. You never know.
We're going to be a big week at the cinemas. And Mr. Lee, we do say this all the time. I know we bang on about it and people are probably getting over it, but book your tickets in advance. I'd be checking out what screenings are showing and making sure that I wouldn't be countering it, I don't think, this weekend, because you might find it hard to get a seat, I would imagine, because it's going to be very popular.
Yeah, so head to odeon5.com.au or forum6.com.au to book your tickets online. Because once you've got your tickets online, you're guaranteed a seat to that session. But if you turn up and it's sold out, unfortunately, you'll have to buy for the next session. So, and we know people want it So,
and if you try and make a run for it, he's still got his taser, don't you? I know. He's so mean.
Dear.
So mean.
That's too funny. I thought you got rid of that one.
No. I wonder whether they used a taser at the Forum 6 in Wagga. What do you reckon?
Look, I think Craig would be very scared too.
Well, speaking of, let's go around the screens, Mr. Lee, and there is nothing quite like a Met Opera.
Oh, absolutely. And, with this Met Opera that's coming up next week, we as we used to do them a lot, many years ago, we'd do it we'd have probably about 10, 12 of them. So we have trialled them. I know Tamworth, we did really well a few weeks ago when we played Madame Butterfly. So this one we've got Carmen on the big screen. And the good thing about these ones it's only been 2-3 weeks prior to actually being on stage in Met Opera in New York. So we're not wasting time in getting them up, which is really, really good. So that's going to be playing all around. Plus, we've got a next Bollywood film coming up on December 5. And I'm going to probably not pronounce it right, but it's Pushpa, The Rule Part 2. And it's going to be in Tamil language. It's going to be in Telugu and Hindi languages, all with English subtitles. So that's going to be from December 5. Check each website to see what language is playing in each town, and then you'll be right to go to which one you need to. And then, of course, on December 8, I should say, at 1 p.m, we've got Andre coming, which is very, very exciting. I can't wait because I know your Nan's excited.
Yes, she is. She found out about it. She listened to it a couple of episodes ago and she hit me up about it. And I said it was all booked out.
Oh, Jay, why?
Well,
I was telling her, I said to her, no, I'm the one that told her.
Yeah, I know, but I went to the last one with her, and as I said, it's just, I don't know. I'm a tired ass.
Creating memories. You're creating memories.
I can create memories another way, Mr. Lee, okay? I'll buy her some knitting stuff, okay? I'm sure she'll be happy with that. She likes crocheting.
Yeah, so she can knit while she's watching Andre. She can knit. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, she's very good at her knitting. She was just making a little blanket last time I checked, so it'll be right come winter.
Moving on.
Let's move on, and let's get on to next week. Can you please talk about Moana 2? It's finally here. How long has it been since the first Moana? A long time now.
For the first one, would you believe, was actually 2016.
That's what I thought.
So 8 years ago. Yeah, 8 years ago.
That was the year that we broke up, Mr. Lee. Wasn't it? That was.
Was it over Moana? Is that the reason why we broke up?
Yeah. It was the "How Far I'll Go" song that was playing in the background while it all unfolded. And isn't it funny? We're back together now, and there's Moana 2. So we'll celebrate with it, and it is opening next week. And the great thing is we've got pretty much all of the same voice cast back.
We have, which is so good. And I'm so pleased because Dwayne Johnson, who plays Maui, he plays that part. It must be so hard to actually play a part that you don't know because it's just your voice and you've got to pretend, you'd read it and go, okay, I've got to be, excited or something. It must be very hard to do animation, I think. I think it's something you've got to be very good at to be able to do.
I think it's a whole new skill. Yeah, and you got to try and picture the character in your mind. I wonder if he does actions while he's voicing the part because you'd have to, wouldn't you? If you're trying to play that
to get
kind of
that
character.
whole feel. Yeah, absolutely. I think you'd have to because I don't know how you do it. I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could do a voice.
And I didn't think that we'd ever see Dwayne Johnson sing, but we found out in Moana that he can definitely sing. That song "You're Welcome" isn't that catchy? When it comes on, I can't help it. Yeah, I'd do a karaoke.
It gets in your head.
It does. Yes.
Yeah. Now this is what we were talking about at the beginning of the podcast. This is the one with Hugh Grant, Sophie Thatcher, Chloe East, and Topher Grace, who used to be in that 70s show many years ago. And it's called Heretic, and it is a horror thriller. And it's all about two missionaries who knock on someone's door, and it's the wrong person's door because they won't let them out.
Yeah, well, as they're missionaries, and look, we know. This is what I said at the start of the podcast: is this kind of thing could easily happen because you get those door knockers. I don't answer the door to those kinds of people. Just so you know, if you try and knock on my front door, I won't answer. But these two young girls knock on the door. He wants to invite them in, and then they're like, "No, we won't come in unless there's a woman there." Tells them his wife's there. They get in, and then really it's kind of on them because they've got to try and find their way out. So, and again,
but don't forget the pie. Don't forget the pie.
The pie, yes.
Yes.
The pie. And that was when the penny drops when she sees a blueberry pie candle or something in the house. And look, I'm sure there's a lot of women who would open the door for Hugh Grant and would definitely come inside. So
I'm glad you said Hugh Grant, not Grant.
Oh, yes. I'm sure they'd open the door for you too, Mr. Lee. Don't you worry.
I'm sure.
They might close it, but hey, look, I'm not sure how. It depends how they feel at the time. But anyway, that one is out next week, so we'll talk more about that next week. But a great little horror thriller that you'll be able to check out very soon.
Exactly right. Now, don't forget, if you want to hear more about Wicked, our podcast for Talking Flicks to podcast will be dropping next Wednesday. It'll have Duncan talking all about Wicked and what his thoughts were about it. And I know he likes these sort of movies, so it'll be interesting to see how and what he thinks.
Well, you won't be interested to see anything because I don't think you're going to be here again, are you, Mr. Lee? You decided to make yourself absent again.
It, but no,
yeah.
I'm away next week. I'll say it. I'm away next week as well, so I'll be not here on Wednesday again.
You're not away, Mr. Lee. Our wish was your command, so that's okay, Duncan. We'll have fun on our own. We'll find some things to do.
Yes, you will.
Yes,
you will.
All right.
You'll be fine.
Thank you to the Forum 6 Cinemas in Wagga and Tamworth, also the Odeon 5 in Orange. For all the details, head to the cinemas' websites. And Mr. Lee, that's us done and dusted for today. What's on the cards for the weekend? You're looking forward to just chilling out again? Yeah.
Yeah, I am actually. I'm looking forward to just having a really quiet weekend, not doing too much. I'm sure I'll be doing jobs around the house again. The lawns, they just seem to keep growing, don't they, the lawns?
They do. I could see you doing that.
Yeah. I put my headphones on and listen to our podcast while I go around.
Oh, no, you don't. What are you talking about? Come on. We'll catch you again next Friday. Mr. Lee, enjoy your day off on Wednesday.
Thank you. Bye for now.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Want more Talking Flicks? Get your fix with every episode anywhere, anytime. Just search Talkin Flicks on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, forum6.com.au or odeon5.com.au. Until next time, we'll see you at the movies.